a client who literally ordered a large chocolate bar that cost $3.79. You know the one I mean, not the little, smaller chocolate bars like a regular chocolate bar. This is like a jumbo one. And he had it delivered to his work through DoorDash 4 nights in a row. That's a total of $13 for each bar. It's bananas. But that was his coping mechanism to force his bank balance back down below his zero. You're listening to the Unshackle Your Life podcast with Debbie Colburn, where breakthroughs happen, getting rid of all the hidden things that hold us back, things that scare us and challenge us, and things that we're just plain fed up with. We talk all things money and business, big and small. We dive deep. We get real and raw at discovering and exploring what is really possible for you and what's holding you back. If you've ever thought it's not enough when you looked at your bank account or your credit card balance, maybe you're sick and tired of the endless struggle of just getting by, and you know you're missing out on opportunities that keep screaming out to you. It's a never-ending cycle of crisis to crisis, either in your personal life or your business or your relationships or all of them. Then this is exactly where you need to be. We'll bring you a whole new way to look at those challenges, share ideas, tips, and tactics, and get you connected to the resources that will unlock those golden handcuffs and release your unique abilities. No matter what's going on in your life, right now, maybe you're in survival mode, living day to day, paycheck to paycheck, or maybe things are good and you know they could be better. Maybe you're in a job or a career or running a business that is leaving you empty, depleted, uninspired, or anything in between. I've got your back. Ready? Buckle up, take a deep breath, and join me in a conversation about breaking through to the next level. Welcome to episode 99. Wow, if there ever was a topic that most can relate to, it's self-sabotage. But what exactly is it? Why do we do it? What's the intent, the purpose of it? Because I'm guessing at first you're thinking, that is so not me. Who would do that to themselves? Most of us? Self-sabotage is pretty much anything that you do that cuts off your flow, your forward movement, or keeps you stuck in neutral. And as we'll talk about in episode 103, it's tied with a Kevlar cord to fear. And as we'll also talk about in that future episode, fear can be about something bad happening as well as something good. These crazy, many times illogical self-sabotages are designed for 3 reasons: to protect yourself from something you think is negative, or to prove your belief or story that you're telling yourself, or you're banging into what's called an upper limit, which we talk about also in a future episode. It means you're on the path of something good, or your tolerance for feeling good, for happiness, has exhausted itself. I know. Your sabotage is designed to get you back to where it feels comfortable, even if it's an uncomfortable place or situation, and that can be anything: lack of money, where you live, an unhealthy relationship, a job you hate. Why would we sabotage the very thing we say we want, any good thing? All I can say is that at first glance, it feels right to do it. And when you look back at your life to bad jobs, experiences, money challenges, bad money decisions, especially the teeny weeny ones, relationships that have fallen apart, just write them down. There is always a pattern. And the funny thing about self-sabotages is that until we discover our patterns, because we all have a primary one, what I call your preferred form of sabotage, I'll refer to that as your PFS, and a secondary one, which I call the fallback form sabotage. They feel like it is the absolute right thing to do at the time. They are little things, something that we do so often, it's so familiar that it's become a habit. They're on autopilot, like reaching for your shield and your sword, your armor to protect you, without giving it a second thought. Or why? When we create a big self-sabotage, the mother of all self-sabotages, the words we use to describe it are, I blew my life up. Remember my story? All self-sabotages will fall into one of 5 areas: earnings, your income or your revenue, relationships, health and wellness, your business or your career job, and in your inner world. Self-sabotage shows up as drama, chaos, and crisis, no matter which area. I know you can relate. I know some of you are going, oh my gosh, Debbie, that's me. Crazy, right? But I have a client who literally ordered a large chocolate bar that cost $3.79. You know the one I mean, not the little, smaller chocolate bars like a regular chocolate bar. This is like a jumbo one. And he had it delivered to his work through DoorDash 4 nights in a row. That's a total of $13 for each bar. It's bananas. But that was his coping mechanism to force his bank balance back down below his zero. And we've talked about that in a bunch of episodes in the past. Until we chatted over sushi one evening, he honestly didn't even see that he was doing that. And I bet some of you can relate to that. And that's not the first time he's done it. Another time, he ordered a loaf of bread costing $3 and had it DoorDashed, totaling $11 a loaf this time. Regular, ordinary, everyday enriched white bread, not organic, gluten-free with sprouted seeds. And he knows intellectually that it's absolutely ridiculously stupid. And he's been having a really, really good year this year. And his internal system is struggling with the up levels. What the sneakiest thing is that the fallback strategy of sabotage is almost always in a different area than your primary one. Now, before we go on, I'd love you to just hit pause for a minute. I'm not going anywhere. And just close your eyes and think, asking yourself this one question. Where have I done something in my life where things were going well and it created a crisis almost immediately, big or small? Have I done something similar more than that one time? Now, in relationships, it tends to show up somewhere around the 5 to 6 month range. No rushing. Just let those 2 questions swirl in your mind for a bit. The word that covers most sabotages is drama. And the definition of drama is an exciting, emotional, or unexpected series of events or set of circumstances. Who wouldn't want exciting and emotional? Surely that's got to be better than stepping into our power, using our voice and facing our demons, our fears, our imposter syndrome, our impact on the future. Yeah, I'm being a bit sarcastic. Or is it? Because while we've each got our own self-sabotage methodology down pat, that unexpected series of events or set of circumstances can be so much more painful than any one of the fears that we're trying to outrun. Are you ready to discover your patterns? It's actually pretty simple, especially if you've been journaling or doing any form of tracking. Ask yourself, which of those 5 areas do I seem to repeatedly be in crisis? Look back through your life at any bad or negative experiences, jobs, relationships, and look for common threads. For me, it was easy. It was money. For my son, it was relationships. What is yours? If it isn't jumping out to you at first, what area are your friends and family always commenting or telling you need to figure it out? Ask them for help if you need it. to find it, not for help to get rid of them. Because if they could have done that, they would have done that. Okay, now you've primed that contemplation muscle. It's time to look at the short version, Personal Sabotages worksheet, which we've linked in the show notes. And I'll go through a few of them with you here. Now, we go much, much deeper on this in the Breakthrough Navigator programs, whether it's the personal one or the business and money version, which I hope that you will join us in one of those when you're ready. And you can check them out at debbiecolburn.com/links. Everything we do is there. In money, when I have cash in my wallet, I'm not comfortable until every single cent of it is gone. I will always pick up the bill, even when I know it's putting me in limbo. And these are just samples, tiny samples of things that you might be experiencing in one of these areas. In relationships, I don't respond to texts or voicemails, and that creates conflict. I keep old friendships, even though I feel them dragging me down. In health and wellness, I get really sick or feel down after a big win. I shut down. I eat food that makes me feel like crap. In business, I ignore broken links on my website. I avoid posting pictures of myself in business. I ghost temporarily when I've had a big win in business, say 5 consecutive productive days. I know, they're sneaky. If you weren't paying attention, you would just totally miss these. In your inner world, I miss important maintenance or service appointments. I get obsessed with the right way to do something. I waffle on decisions, and it always ends up costing me more. Are you getting the idea? There are hundreds and hundreds of ways to self-sabotage, but only one preferred form and only one secondary. You've heard me say probably 30 times, mine is that I eat my money. Money is my PFS. Health and wellness is my FBS. I said this to my doctor the other day at my annual physical. See, I arrive at my appointments with my health and wellness tracker journal, so I can share with her how hyper-responsive my body is to what I eat. And what I eat historically has been highly affected by, well, let's just call it what it is, emotional eating. And I know now it's simply me sabotaging what I feel is a screw it situation. Already screwed it up, might as well sabotage it right through till it has no life. Imagine walking 2 blocks down the road to spend $14 on takeout, even if it's healthy, simply because you let your bank account dip below the number you have set as your new minimum. And as you walk there to pick it up, you know with 100% certainty you are not hungry. Your mind is spinning on how this will make your bank balance worse. And I used to do this on my credit card too. Now I have a rule that unless it's planned, I never, ever put food on my credit card. Never, ever. Back to the doctor's office, and she said to me with the most innocent 40-year-old face, moving her hands to her mouth, "You mean you actually eat the bills?" Come on. We just came out of 2 years of the pandemic. Who even has bills? Right away, it was very easy to figure out that her svelte athletic body absolutely did not have eating as a sabotage. Now, she may well have 3-year supply of protein shakes or herbal tea in her pantry, but, well, sabotages are sneaky. And only we can discover exactly what our own are and blast them the heck into outer space for good. As you go through this discovery process, dig deeper and explore your self-sabotages using a Google Sheet or Excel to track them. It's super helpful. Every self-sabotage shows up in your physical body. Did you know that? And once you've identified yours, then simply listening to your body more will reveal the sign to you. Your body will tell you when you are starting to self-sabotage. Mine shows up in my back, right between my shoulder blades, and in my heart. Like if this was video, you'd see me with my hand wide open, all 5 fingers spread out, just doing a circle around my heart area. That's the 2 places that I feel it. And I know that's super weird, and maybe it's just a little bit too woo-woo for you. And somehow it forces me to think, do you really want to do this, Debbie? Now let me give you an example, a story I might have shared before. So if you remember back in the episode where we talked about our manuals, the rules only we know but expect everyone else to follow, when things start to feel good for me on the living side, like my home, I obsess about rule adherence. Dog pee, arrival for service appointments, amenities, teenagers hanging out in the private parking garage, you name it. And I'm not crazy. I now know exactly what I'm doing. I'm self-sabotaging, trying to create drama. And for someone who really doesn't like drama, especially girl drama, it was wickedly painful to realize that I actually could be the match that lit the inferno, ultimately burning down the building. Not really. That's just a metaphor. And my preferred poison pen is professional legalese. My highly researched, professionally written with perfect punctuation and chosen words. I set out to prove why the other person or thing is wrong, that I am right. Remember number 2 in the why we do it at the beginning of this episode? When I was in my late 40s, at a company that had been absorbed by yet another merger, the person I was contracted by, the CFO, sat me down in his office and said, "It would serve you really well to let any email you have a visceral reaction to sit for at least 24 hours before responding, if you do at all." I didn't get that then, but I did years later. No one likes to be told they're wrong. And guess what? More often than not, the result is drama. And when you are self-sabotaging, that is exactly what you want. The big catch of this type of self-sabotage is that there is always, real truth in your response. Real, hard, cold, undisputable facts, which in the right hands with the right delivery could have a great positive impact. But they're lost in your drama. They're devalued. Stirring shit up rarely is an effective tool, except to cut off your flow, stop your momentum, eliminate the growth track, put a cork in the resource tap. And where do I feel it? Well, let me just go back and reiterate. When I'm writing these days, the instant I feel my heart saying to me, "Are you really sure this is the route that you want to go?" I stop immediately. I may delete the doc, exit Gmail, come back later and take a look at the draft. And more often than not, I walk away happy that I was able to run interference on the parts of me that have had 66 years of practice at self-sabotaging myself. And I hope that you can do that too. And hopefully it doesn't take 66 years. This is the start. You must be kind and patient with yourself. It's a process that doesn't happen overnight. And guess what? Every single time you get to a new level in any area, your self-sabotage monster will rear its ugly head, fangs and all, and you will have the tools and the skills to snuff out its flame before it can start anything. Now, there's a lot here, and my wish is that you take something away from that today. That's something that will encourage you to take the next step, to start building that bias for taking action in your daily life. You already know what you're thinking, that your thinking is what drives everything. So You already know that your thinking is what drives everything. So we've got our new 90-day affirmations sent to you every single day for 90 days so that you can unlock every day with intention. And you can get that. Just pop on over, sign up for free at debbiecolburn.com/unlock the day. So we're here. We're at the end. It's the time for that question that I ask everyone at the end of each episode. What is the very best thing that could happen if you unlock just one of your shackles today? Hey, if this podcast got you thinking you're ready to improve your money or business situation, or both, please make sure you're subscribed and share it with everyone you think needs to hear this. The link is in the show notes, and drop a review in wherever you're listening. Make sure to check out the all-new Breakthrough Navigator, the Money and the Money and Business editions, where you can work directly with me to transform that money situation in your bank accounts that is keeping you up at night. It's super easy. Just head to our website at debbiecolburn.com/links. And while you're there, sign up to grab your very own free personal daily intention setter in your inbox every single day for 90 days. Absolutely free. I actually get them sent to myself. They are so friggin' amazing. Simple tools to transform both your personal life and your business.